Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. 안녕하세요. This is my first time to go abroad outside from my home country, and this is also my first time as a Python speaker. So I'm very excited to share my experience when I learned my first time when I learned Python, and actually. I want to say thank you for the Python committee that accept my talks. So today I want to share about how literally Python saved my life, and then the lesson learned from building a local Python community. So first thing first, my name is Doni Rubiagatra. I'm Bachelor of Mathematics at ITS Surabaya. So I'm a co-founder of Surabaya.py. So it's basically a Surabaya Python user group. So I come from Indonesia. My hometown is in Surabaya. And I'm being coordinator from 2016 to 2018. And I also teaching Python at another community called Data Science Indonesia, East Java region. So I teach about introductional Python and computation using NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, and etc. And recently I'm contribute to a Facebook research program that called FISDom. So basically, I created some authorization feature for a Tornado web server that built by Facebook. And as my daily job, I'm a back-end engineer at Kumparan. So before we started, I just want to introduce you with the co-founding member of my user group. So the bottom one is me, the left one is Christo, the next on the right is Nanang, the next on the right is Erlangga, and the last one on the right is Tegar. So every journey has beginning. So when I get started in Python, basically it's about, so my first Hello World program and my first dive into programming is started at 2016. It is very young. So when in my university years, when I'm student, actually I'm not really good at being a student because I had in one semester of 0 GPA. So I think I'm really bad when I'm study, but I'm finished it. Then I started to want to change my life. So learning Python is like a changing point in my life. So when I started to learn Python, is anyone here tried Codecademy? Yeah. Now, when I start to looking for resources, 2 years ago I found Codecademy. So it was really nice and fun when you start to learn coding. But actually, in my university, I already taught 3 different programming languages: C, C++, and Java. And because I'm not really good as being student, I'm not paying attention at all. So I started to try to learn again. So when I search in Codecademy, I'm try to find a Java course, and I've tried to understand the Java code. So basically, it's this code. So the starter hello world of Java. For me, as the person that wants to learn programming once again from scratch, from zero, this is so intimidating because I don't even know what's going on here. What is public? What is static? What is void? So this is like why so hard to learn programming? And then I stumbled upon to this one. This simple function of Python print hello world literally changed my life. So when I started to learn in Code Academy, so I tried. It was very fun. So I'm started to learn like the data structure, the list, the dictionary, the function, and at some point I just get stuck because I would say that I self-teach myself, and I search the research from not my native language, but in English. I can understand the concept of class. So it's very, very challenging for me. And by that, like, you cannot doing this alone. You cannot learn with all by yourself. You need someone that, you need some kind of mentor that will help you to be a great programmer. So lucky me, so I started to learn Code Academy at the early 2016 and the middle 2016. I was approached by my friend that, hey Donny, do you want some meetup and creating some Python user group in Surabaya? Oh, that's very coincident. So I'm going to the first meetup. This is my first very meetup with my friend, with the Python user group of Surabaya. So we call it surabaya.py. It represents the name file of the Python. And because all of this person has their daily job, I took the role of the coordinator because I'm the only one still in my university study. So in the next month, finally we created our first workshop, I guess, and I was very excited because I finally can have someone that teach me about class, because I'm being coordinator 2 years ago. Even I don't understand about class. So it doesn't matter how do you know about Python, but the community could help you. So the event was for the people of Surabaya is really interest them, because the majority of Indonesian people use PHP and Java. So the Python is like a new programming language, new kid on the block. So they start asking what's the difference about PHP, Java, and Python. And then after our successful first event, we created another event like 6-week workshop. The first 2 weeks is how a Python crash course, and the next 4 weeks we created some workshop about Odoo. So it's more like ERP software development. So the business, little business can operate Odoo, then maybe they can use the point of sale of program. And basically Odoo is built using Python. Still has this very excitement, warm welcome from the people of Surabaya, and we're still going through. And finally, in the third meetup, I start to have a talk about Python, and still grasping the concept of class of myself. So in that year, I also tried to finish my undergraduate thesis. So there were 2 talks about how I use Python computation to finish my thesis using Sage Math Cloud, and the other one is Introduction to Django. Some introduction for Sage Math Cloud. So Sage is a mathematical software computation. So it's built by Python, so you can compute some So I'm basically from mathematics. You could compute like linear algebra, like differential equation, calculus. So it's very, very helpful if you from academia. And there is a cloud, the cloud that you use for teaching. So everyone can share their notebook, and it is free. So I finished my undergraduate thesis using this one. So I create using elliptic curve cryptography. So I'm using the numerical computation using SAGE. And now we have the next event and another next event. So partially in every month we have other topics. We have someone that want to talk about how Python used in real life. So we meet a lot of new people. From being held the program by ourselves, or we as a community invited by another community in Surabaya, such as Facebook Developer Circle, Google Developer Group. So I meet a lot of people that I cannot imagine. So it's another with the meetup. We helping some friends to finish their thesis using Python. And in the bottom one, we are teaching Python right now we are teaching Python in more than 5 universities in East Java. So, and we start changes in my university. Before we came in, they are using MATLAB and Java for their undergraduate thesis. But when we started 2 years ago, and now the students already changed to Python to finish their final project. And finally, after a year, in 2017, we created our first PyCon Indonesia, and it's located on my hometown in Surabaya. It's over, we titled New Beginning. We have more than 15 speakers over three countries. Everyone can join in. So this is our team. So it held on 9 December 2017, and it is unbelievable that we came through from nowhere and created some big and great event like PyCon in Indonesia. So I just want to inform you that in the end of this year, Indonesia, we created PyCon Indonesia. If you want to submit your talks, you can submit to pycon.id. Now, so what I learned after 2 years being a coordinator Surabaya.py and a local Python community. So when you start to organize some Python local community, so the first thing you want to ask is, how about the resources? What kind of resources do you need to start a Python local community? The answer is, it's just only you. It starts with you, as you are the main resources that can gather everyone to come to your event. You are the only one that you can make a change. You don't have to wait people to create some changes. It starts with you. And this is Surabaya.py by number. So we have one PyCon, 2 years from 2016 and 2018. We have more, I think 6 or 8 volunteers, 20 plus event and collaboration, and we have, because mainly we use communication using Telegram, we have more than 1,200 plus members on Telegram and still counting. Now, how about speaker and trainer? So basically, if you want to like invite speaker or someone who want to share their thought about Python, you can invite some of your friends that can use Python. So not always you must invite that someone on the side on the outside of the hometown, like the expert of the Python. You do not really that one. So just share with a friend that someone that love Python of the most, and they can act as a speaker or trainer, and maybe someday he will develop him or herself to become a really good programmer of Python. And now, what is the parameter of the successful event? So I think we know that we want to our event is success. So maybe the parameter is like 100 attendees, or like maybe PyCon Korea is more than 1,000 attendees. But in my case, when you start to create a Python local community, the parameter is simple. There is someone else. There is someone else that would come and would interact with you to share the talk about Python itself. So in Surabaya.py, we have experience from only two people came to our event, to 100, and maybe the highest one is in PyCon, like 300 or 400 people came to our event. So basically there is no great parameter that you can use how successful your event, but there is someone else that as categorized your event is success. I think this is the most important as being in a community. Help and teach other, because the essence of being in community is you can teach someone that barely know programming to someone that can learn Python, can be changing momentum of her or his life. Because I love to helping someone, because helping someone, it changed my life. So, and then basically in Indonesia, like there are shy people, like they too shy to ask at the group and on a Telegram. Basically, he or she can ask me directly, direct message me. So I oftenly teach them by chat, or maybe we create some meetup with them personally, so I can help them with the project or the Python learning. And this is one of the benefits of of the Python community. So I got my first and second job because Python community. So I think this is a plus. I think this is only a plus benefit, but this is not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is we need to help each other. We need to make a better world with programming. So basically, I never use my degree, I never use my diploma to apply for some work, but I often receive some offer from tech company in Indonesia because I often create event and contribute to open source program, and maybe created like a workshop in a Python community. And the last thing is regeneration, because I know I cannot be forever in this community. So we need younger people. I believe younger people will be better than us, will be better than me. So regeneration is one of the most important things. So you teach them, you help them to become a next leader for our community. So that's why I stepped on Bank as coordinator, so that the younger people can stood up, can share the how fun the Python programming is. So this is our event. Actually, it held yesterday. So basically, I'm here at Korea. So our friend from Surabaya.py created